Hi, sweet beloveds. Katsura Balanza here, and I'm gonna give a little update from Cochabamba, Bolivia. Before I delve into the update, we'll go ahead and take a deep breath and connect with my heart to connect with your heart. Connect with the one great heart. And so I'm not sure how much you're aware of, but here in Bolivia, we have kind of gotten ourselves on the world map a little bit more, and it's not the political leaders who have done this, it's the people. The people of Bolivia have really taken a stance, have begun to, not begun, I mean, it began 3 weeks ago, over 3 weeks ago now. I've actually been here during a Revolvalution more than I have with a steady, relaxed kind of enjoying this country, which is totally amazing. And I'm so grateful this is the timing I chose to come down. I know it was more than just what dates that worked, but it was answering the call of spirit to be here right now during this time. And I've been wanting to share for a while and have refrained since the emotions that I was experiencing through the process were just really intense, feeling it all, and also recognizing that as an empath, it's important for me to take a step back from the drama and chaos and really just observe and witness. And that has been my experience, is to be an observer as much as possible and not be emotionally invested, not because I don't care, not because it doesn't speak to my heart or move me tremendously, yet because I really need to focus on anchoring love and peace and allowing this body, this vessel, to be exactly that, an anchor for the feminine, the divine feminine, the masculine, as I have that as well. And that is what we are all here to do, is to really anchor in love, really anchor in that sense of divine feminine, divine masculine, however it looks. For some, that means being out there and blocking roads and making a strong stance of what we want during this evolutionary revolution that we are all experiencing as a collective inside our own bodies, our hearts, our minds, as we are all becoming more present and fully aware. And as well as we're seeing it in our reflection with what's going on all over the world in so many countries. I'm more in touch with what's going on here in South America, yet to know that Chile, Venezuela, Bolivia are having such extreme shows of riots and change makers making change happen. Shift getting real. That's a good amount. Yeah, and it's not just a little bit, it's like really big change and shift happening. And so being here during this time has definitely inspired a shift in where my energy, focus, and attention is going. And while I really love ceremony and holding space for ceremony, I am recognizing just what can happen when people really get together to make a change in their country, in their city, wherever they are. And so I'm going to switch this around. With that, I am inspired to connect with more activists. My role will be heart centering, keeping the heart feeling strong, and energy holding energy, allowing to be at a most optimal pace, opposed to, say, if you're in the water floundering around trying to keep your head above. I want to help you float on your back so you can stay relaxed through the process. And so, anyone out there who is a part of activism, I am interested, and that is what I feel like my role is currently. And all right, so I'm going to share a little bit about what we've been going on here, and so share a little bit from my perspective on what my perspective looks like. I'm a mother to a 3-year-old, almost 3-year-old. So with that, I was not out on the front lines. I was not a part of the bloqueos. I mostly stayed within my general facility of where I'm staying at with my grandmother, the park nearby, and the market that's just a couple miles away that I can walk to since there were no cars. And witnessing that has been incredible. I have been in Bolivia before, and it's really frequent. It's common for people to do roadblocks, whether it's the bread makers saying, hey, the price of flour is rising in an unfair way. We're going to block the roads and say, this isn't cool. We need prices that are fair. Or whether it's teachers, whoever it might be, it's so common here. Every time I've come, there have always been bloqueos. It's been, people here have a lot of spirit. A lot of that fire is like so strong. While it's one of the most financially poor countries in South America, it is one of the, in my opinion, wealthiest countries in spirit of that I have witnessed and experienced. And I haven't been all over and I haven't lived all over, but I've seen a good amount of countries. Being in the States, I mean, it's just the people here really get together to take a stand, and it is so amazing to witness. It is so inspiring, and oh, let's make this happen all over in our neighborhoods. Let's start with our neighborhoods and our cities and maybe the whole state, and who knows, maybe we can come together for this great movement in the States. Since I speak to you, my friends in the States, since I have so many, that everywhere, Australia, Europe, Asia, Africa, let's do it. Let's get together globally. Oh, wow. So, anyways, that's what this has done for me, is just inspire this like ability, like this, like we can do it. This innate belief that we can come together and we can make change that we wish to see. Oh, the Revolvalution is real. It's happening. Like, let's ride that wave. And I say revolvolution since it shifts the energy. Revolution is a powerful word, but words have energies and attached energy to it. And a revolution has had this energy of, it can also be a bad thing. People connect death, violence, and just a lot to it. They're also change and like action for something greater. But if we change the word a little bit, add evolution, then we're bringing this other energetic form to it. And when you feel the energy of evolution, it has this more expansive, uplifting energy to it. I did not coin the phrase revolvolution. I might be wrong here, but I believe it was Dia Cosmic Blue is how her page on Facebook. If you want to check it out, you can find her there. I'm pretty sure I would have to double check. So don't quote me on that yet, but I'm like 99% sure. Anyway, so Revolvalution, that's the next level, the next wave, and you can use it, you don't have to use it. It's what I choose to use because I like the energy of it. And some sweet people honking. All right. So, anyways, the what it looks like here on the micro level, from my perspective as a mother who is protecting her young child and not going to go out in the front lines and risk him or myself, because our health is number one. His growing up as trauma free as possible is number one, which means, he doesn't need to see that. He doesn't need to be in the full energy of the intensity of it. That's not what I'm trying to imprint in his blueprint right now. These really pivotal stages of life, as any mother and father understands, just the value of that. As any loving person to children understands. We're all, we all have the mother and father within. Here I go on another tangent. So, what it looks like on the micro here was a lot of time really staying in the house. Like that was the safest thing, is to just stay really close to the house. So, a lot of personal introspective work, a lot of just going nearby to the park, and it got frustrating at times. I felt like a dolphin in a swimming pool, and it was really challenging. I want to go out, I want to explore, I want to spread my wings and fly, and yet, that's not what was asked for at the time. It was really important to stay really just within and really get all the resources that are needed. Go out, get the resources for as long as needed, so don't need to go out again. Thankfully, here in the country, we were able to still have bread and chicken, and there was this fear that these really vital things to survival would run out. And yet, the country, everyone was able to really hold it together, really maintain a somewhat sense of normal life as far as having the essentials to survival. And, one thing my uncle pointed out, people are able to do this now, when before, 3 weeks without working, most people weren't working. There was no way to get to work. It was dangerous. Like, people weren't working. Can you imagine going 3 weeks without work and not having that income? That's kind of a scary thought for some people. Anyways, the country did it. Everyone did it. People would still work occasionally, but for the most part, a lot was on standstill. And the reason this was able to happen was because the country is a more economically stable place than it's been in a long time. And Evo Morales, he's the reason why. He helped to really boost the economy. He helped to get Bolivia to be more progressive than I had ever seen it in all of the times that I had come here. And so, Evo is what sparked all of this major change and shift happening. Evo and the people he works with. There was fraud. People suspected fraud in the election, and they weren't okay with it. They said, "We have our vote. Our vote counts. You cannot take our vote away and just do whatever you want." And that's what started the blocks. And Evo said, "Okay, if fraud's proven, I'll resign." And so many countries got on board, were listening. The US, Brazil, there's I can't remember which European countries, but there was a lot of pressure, so I think it was the United States ambassadors came down and conducted a test. Maybe it was others, it's one of those groups. I don't listen to the politics all that deeply. I just keep, like I said, keep my emotional distance, while still trying to stay informed and aware. Anyway, and so this organization, maybe it's OAS, came and did their testing, and it was proven that there was fraud. There was, yeah, it was by a long shot. It wasn't just a little bit. It was a lot. And so he resigned 3 weeks later. And, I've read a lot of different stuff on Evo. I've read news on him about how he's this wonderful indigenous leader standing up. Sweet little ones. I don't know if you saw or not. So these wonderful indigenous leaders standing up for indigenous rights, standing up for the earth and protecting the earth, and bringing balance to the structures that there is now. And what I feel like I want to see and what I want a leader to embody. And I was here when he first got elected 14 years ago, and I was really happy to see him as president. I was really all for it. I was very surprised when I got here and saw how unhappy people were with him. And I mean, not everyone. He still had like 35-40% of the votes, not enough to fairly win, but a lot of people still supported him. And but there was a lot of people unhappy with him. And so it was really interesting to see the shift. And I think what happened was that the power got to him. I mean, if he was really this just leader, if his country is asking for a re-election, opposed to trying to hold on to your power of that presidency and allowing people to die, allowing people to get hurt because you don't want a re-election, that doesn't seem very heart-centered to me. That doesn't seem like an honest leader. That sounds like a tyrannical dictator trying to stay in charge. And so I believe that he came into presidency with a lot of beauty. I do believe that he helped the country to come a long way. And I also believe that something inside shifted. And after 13 years of presidency, he changed the law so that he could be re-elected again and made it 5-year terms. He should have technically, had he not changed the laws, been out of presidency 5 years ago. But there he was, still holding on to that power, which, the message, I feel like the lesson coming through him that we can learn and take with us is that we don't need, our power isn't outside of ourselves and what we are doing in the world. Our power comes inside. And the more we can stay true to what is on the inside, the more we will continue to stay in integrity with our source, with our true calling and purpose. And, I do believe that perhaps this was his calling, was to help people like stand up and come together. And he needed to play that role that he played. But I can't agree with the articles I've read talking about how great of a leader he is. Had he really been that great of a leader, people wouldn't be asking for truth and for him to step down. Sometimes it's important to let go. Sometimes we need to hold on, and sometimes we need to let go. Oh, and so, yeah, it's interesting having seen the full cycle from when he first got elected to now when he's resigned. He's now resigned and staying in Mexico. Mexico is in full support of him. It's interesting the countries that have been supportive of him. Chile, Venezuela, I believe Costa Rica. Some of the more countries with leaders that are having a lot of uprising from the people. So I feel like that says a lot. One of the most amazing things that I have witnessed while being here is just seeing how people come together, how they make it happen, the bravery, the strength, the determination. It was one of the most amazing moments was the night that The police nationwide, every city decided to back the people and decided to protect the people who are having the protests. They said that they didn't or weren't in alignment with what the leaders were asking of them. And so they backed up the people, and the people backed up the police, and they worked together, and it was so beautiful. I haven't, seen it on such a grand scale, not in the States. And that was one of the most, for me, heart touching things to witness was exactly that. And I pray that, we can come together, all the different power structures all over the world, and really just see the heart connection, be friends, be on that friendship together. And another amazing aspect that I've been witnessing is the connection to Pachamama, the earth, Mama Gaia, and the people. I have witnessed the sad news taking place, and the cloudiness in the sky. I've been walking and felt the determination of people ready to make change at the beginning, that feeling, that inspiration, that like we are going to do this, we don't know how, but we know something is not right here, and we're going to do what we can to change it. And just witnessing the thunder in alignment with those feelings and emotions, the lightning, and just the overall, like the beauty of it, that serene sense of the message being carried through the wind, touching all hearts, all the roots, like it's ingrained in the earth here. It's so amazing. I have witnessed days of like a big, like, after the night the police chose to back the people, there was great elation. That next day was hot. You could feel the sun just so strong in that joy. Another nice hunker. So strong in that joy and that essence of like light just shining, like so much light has just been experienced here. Here you go, people, let's bask in the warmth of it. And then of course news of whatever Evo had to say, of not backing down. At this point he hadn't resigned yet, and he was like, I'm not backing down, I don't care who's dying, basically. And just the clouds and the rain coming down, and just you felt that like it was pouring down rain the same time he made that, like, whatever speech he made, like pouring down rain. Mother Earth was feeling the heart, in the heart of the people were feeling this anger. Like that was the heart. And it was pouring down rain. And I cried too, for my own personal reasons. But I felt it, and I wept and I cried. And it's just, yeah, to me, that has been one of the most outstanding things that I have witnessed is the connection to the earth and the people and the heart and the spirit. It's so solid. Oh, yeah. I took some videos, and some pictures of what some of the bloqueos, the blocking of roads, looked like. I'll share those as I have the time as a mama with her baby cub, mama bear with her baby cub. And so now, as things are settling down, traffic is starting to operate a little more smoothly. There's still some things, that I haven't been able to get, like for me, soy milk, since we don't do the dairy. It's okay. Bottled water. My grandma does the bottled water since it takes a long time to boil all the water, and even then it's not as, I guess, clean. Anyway, so, just little things that still are not quite regular yet, but starting to regularize. While Evo is resigned and there's this temporary presidenta, this lady, um, who, I hope her heart's in the right place. Seems like it. We'll see. Only time can tell. Yeah. Things, I guess this is where it's hard to speak because I'm still so deep in the emotion of it. And life isn't, normal to what it once was. It's still, you can feel the wound. You can feel the blood still gushing from where there's been bloodshed. There's still different groups. I didn't speak to the masistas, but they're like basically Evo's strong supporters and rather violent group, and there's still some confrontations, still some people getting hurt. It's more regular. Can go out a little bit further now, and it's a little bit more safe, but it's still hurting. Can still feel the hurt of the people, of the country, of the land. Mama Earth just wants her children to feel the love and be in peace. And I know we're all doing what we can for that. I trust in that. And yeah, I guess, the latest news I got is Evo is considering coming back. And, that could mean a lot of different things. This happened in Venezuela with their president, where he resigned and he left, but then he came back and all of it started again. And Venezuela's been in their challenging days for 2 years now. There's a lot of Venezuelan refugees here in Bolivia because it's so bad over there. There's no trust of people, violence. People, I read that people will wait 24, 48 hours just to buy some toilet paper at the market because it's just supplies are so little, and there's a lot going on in the world all around us. And I don't know what's to come for Bolivia. I just keep praying for peace, holding on to trust and love, gratitude, seeing the beauty in it, and any prayers for peace for all of the earth, all of the world, all of humanity in any spare moment do make a difference. Keep on being the peace within your own world. Keep on loving. We'll be in touch. We'll continue to share as much as I can. So much love to you, to all, loving always in all ways. An expanding heart, grounding deeply to the earth, rising, reaching up to the heavens, walking our divine path of purpose. So much love. Ciao, ciao.